can.
The number, so I took the phone call, and the woman on the other end said, this is so-and-so from Rock County, and your family's been in an accident. And I didn't really think much of it and said, where do I pick them up? And she didn't even say anything. There was silence. Direction that my family was going when they got in the accident, and I actually came up on the roadblock. Thankfully it was over the hill, so I couldn't see the accident, but I knew it was our accident, and I knew it was my family's accident. And because the road was blocked off, I knew they only did that when people died. See my husband, and he was unconscious on a ventilator. And then they took me to see my son Kade, who looked just like a miniature of his dad. Unconscious. The ambulance driver hugged me and he says, I'll be praying for your family tonight. And that's when I truly believed Kade had died. Who was, now I know as being a counselor of some sort, was going to pull me in a room and shut the door. And I told her she didn't have to shut the door to tell me my son had died. Just couldn't get it together, and she told me he's not going to die. And it was at that point I knew that as long as I didn't have to bury my son, I could take him and do whatever needed to be done to make this all better, make life better for him. I didn't care if he was in a wheelchair the rest of his life. I didn't care. Weeks we were sent home, and I was sent home with a son that was in a wheelchair and tube fed and couldn't talk, and Kade didn't talk for 6 months. His first words were Darson, which is Carson, his sister. And ever since then he's been so driven to be more and be better, and he's made an amazing recovery considering the brain injury that he's been dealt. And I went 3 times that year, I lost my dad. Well, I finally read the good book, and I took a good long hard look at what I'd do if I could do it all again.
Billy couldn't feel his legs, said he'd never walk again, but Billy said he would.
Never give up. Keep trying.
His mom and daddy prayed, and the day we graduated, he stood up to say, unsinkable ships sink, unbreakable walls break. Sometimes the things you think would never.
I love being in that phase, basically like being one of the faces that stick out.
I got off track, I made mistakes, backslid my way into that place where souls get lost, lines get crossed, and the pain won't go away. It's gonna be a long and winding road, and it's time you let it all go. Everyone knows you hate to lose control. Put on some new shoes, get on your way home. And we're all here waiting to hear your voice again. A summer day, kiss goodnight, your chance.